And I have not seen anybody who's done that with my money, has done that to me, ever being happy at all. Lessons plenty, regrets none.
This film has been in the process for about 5 years now. How do the finances work?
My people keep reminding me every day, including my manager also, calling me every morning. You should start a film, sir. You should move on. You're too much into this film. Like, we have to go. Been here for a very, very long time, and we shall leave it there. எனக்கு தமிழ் வரல, உங்களுக்கு கன்னடா வரலன்னு எந்த லாங்குவேஜ்ல பேசுறது? Prime Minister sir had to intervene and shut everything down and say no more discussions on languages.
He's one of the biggest superstars India has seen, and his next film, Vikrant Rona, is heading for a worldwide release in several foreign languages. To talk more about it, I have Kichcha Sudeep himself. Hello Sudeep, thank you for speaking to Federal News. First and foremost, congratulations. Going by the trailer, the songs and the rage it's creating, it looks like you have a winner on your hands.
Thank you. Hope so.
I'm sure you've been asked this question several times, but I want to repeat it. What's going on in your mind? I mean, it's one of your biggest releases, and it's coming at a time when a couple of South Indian films have done well, nationwide. And this is going to be bigger than that, hopefully. So what's going through your mind right now?
Nothing much. We have done our bit, and we have loved the film from the day one. And it's the same amount of love right now. So nothing has decreased or increased. We still stand still on the per se of what we spoke earlier and what we are speaking now, the content, the scale. And not only that, the requirement the film had when we initially discussed the script is what we were all targeting to deliver, so that the film comes exactly what was there in our minds. And now we see the film reaching there day by day as it is going, with the VFXs and the 3D finishing happening. So that's all it goes. We are happy that we could bring on screen what exactly we have in mind.
But you must have had a lot of guts, because taking on Anup Bhandari as a film director, who's just had 2 films earlier, and of which one didn't really do that well. Taking on this project and spending 5 years with him, how was that like? I mean, what made you trust? And was it instinct, or what was that?
That's me. I guess I can't really explain what made me trust people. I guess it's just my instinct. And I've done that earlier in my life also. Whether it is a Hucha, whether it is a Eager, I've just gone by my instincts on the scripts. And at least Eager had a very popular director. There are many, many, many movies I have done which I just went by my gut, and it has worked for me. And Anup Bhandari, I think for me to know that he's a good director, he doesn't necessarily have to have had about 20 films in his pocket. 2 is enough. And in that, I've seen only 1, 2. So for me, he's only 1 film old. I've only seen 1 film, which is Rajaratha, which is an average film actually, according to him. Yeah, it was not up to the mark of his first film, but then I guess it benchmarked his abilities and the way to conceive a scene, and what a director he is. I think I was quite happy, and I happily did this film for this number of years I was traveling with that. I'm happy. I didn't see any. Actually, this thought is coming to me only now when you're saying this question. I never had anything like of that sort in my mind.
Okay, and now coming to the trailer of the film, the promos, the initial teaser or the promos. There are kids in the movie, which we saw in the first teaser part. And then there's action, there's suspense, and an item number. What's this combination about? What is this film going to offer us? Because there's a lot of things.
Of course, there will be a lot of things. See, when you have a script, it can't be just one single road traveling from one corner to another corner and say film's over. There has to be diversions, there has to be twists and turns. And when you say diversions, I don't mean that you're going off the record, off the track, off the script, off the requirement. It's well within the premises, well within the parameters of the script that all these things are following. And cinema is all about entertainment. And when I say again entertainment, I don't mean that we have forced a song or a comedy or a fight. It comes with the script, and yeah, it has a lot more. What you're seeing, that's why we call it a trailer, no?
Yeah, but then the trailer, the 3 minutes trailer, it looks dark. There's a lot of dark scenes, blues. I mean, the cinematography is fantastic. But does the entire film carry that, the same?
Well, sometimes and sometimes not. Whenever you say mystery, whenever you say there's a mystery, whenever you say it's a maze, it's a land where people feared, obviously there will be that darkness inside, no? There will be. You can't say a bright light and you can't say something came up and scared you, or the place is looking scary. It will, see, every fear comes in the dark. So there will be a darkness in the film, but that doesn't mean it's all about darkness. There's sun does rise in the film too.
And you've gone 3D with this film as well.
Yeah.
What was the decision like? I mean, why did you decide to go 3D?
Because I just personally felt that the sets these people had put and everything, 2D was not justifying that. And when I used to walk into the set, I used to see the set so beautifully lit up, and every time I used to sit and watch the monitor, something was not okay. Then I brought a bigger monitor. We brought a 65 inches monitor just to enhance the scale and understand what it is like to have a bigger monitor, so that at least we'll see our scale on the monitor. Again, the way I would see the set, I wish I could get that on screen, is when the 3D thought came in. And so I was not aware that, post also we could do 3D. Though I had heard about it, I was not sure. So I discussed with Anup and asked him to inquire. So he inquired and got back, and I discussed with him again about the idea of 3D, and he jumped onto it. And everybody liked it. And Anup was a good student in that way, that he studies things well and he comes back fully prepared. So from then on, he took it over, and we thought, and Manju supported this idea, because the moment you say 3D, the budget just shoots up by another huge spring. Yeah, so Manju was okay. He liked the idea and he understood the idea. And as a producer, when he's standing up for it, I think what better way can we deal with?
It must have been tough because, in fact, you guys started shooting much before the lockdown.
Yeah.
And then the lockdown happened, and then the film just got bigger and bigger. And we're coming nearly 2.5 years after the lockdown happened. So what do you think would be the budget of this film now?
I don't know. Enough for us to be worried about, enough for us to be making some money also, I guess. It's big. It's big. It's the biggest budget of my career so far. So I guess it is big enough.
One of the reasons I actually want to talk to you about going 3D is, if you remember, your last film, Pailwan, was actually leaked on the first day of its release. And actually that hurt the filmmakers in a way. So was that a lesson learned, so that, if we go 3D, we could avoid piracy and all of that?
So that kind of thing doesn't make me to spend another so many crores to just go 3D. Though that's a brilliant idea which we had once discussed. But then this film demanded it. The scale, not only the scale, the land we have created, we wanted to deliver in 3D so that we can take you within the land, take you inside, and then make you be a part of the story that's happening there. That's what the whole intention of the 3D was. And yeah, there will be, but one thing, let me tell you, if you're just releasing the film only in 3D, then it may be a little difficult for the piracy. That's also there. But then you never know. I do not know how the pirates think. They're always 10 steps ahead.
All right. One of the highlights so far, apart from the teaser, the trailer, is the Rakama song, Ra Ra Rakama song by Jacqueline. Okay. First and foremost, the music is fantastic. Yeah. Jacqueline's dance is fantastic. But what's trending, what's making heads turn is you dancing, which you rarely do. I just wanted to know, how long did the makers take to convince you to do that?
Nothing. They didn't convince me at all. They lied to me that there is no dance for me.
Okay.
So I had gone to the set thinking that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And suddenly when I was called for a shot, they had kept a shot for me of dance. And then I was looking and I was like, before I got questioned, the dancers were rehearsing and Jacqueline had rehearsed and the lighting was done and the table was set. I was like, okay, that's the first step I did, is that hook step only. The first shot, what you see in the lyrical video, that's the one I did first. And yeah, they conned me into it. So there was not much time to think or rehearse. So I went straight for the take. I just saw it once or twice and went straight for the take.
Is there more to the song apart from what we've already seen?
Yeah, there's definitely more. Once I am into it, dancing doesn't make sense that next shot I'll go and sit down and I'm not going to dance, right? There will be more to it.
You've got a lot of support for this film from across India, from Salman Khan, from Amitabh Bachchan. We all know that you and Salman Khan share a good bond. Has he seen the film?
Not yet, but he's seen much more than anyone. As in, like, we had a showreel cut of almost about 18.5, 19 minutes, and he's seen it all. And he's loved that part. Because, trailer is what you're seeing is about 3 minutes. He's seen about 18.5 to 19 minutes. So it's quite a lot of film he's seen. I'm not trying to say like one whole song and whole fight put together and everything. It's like cut in piece, almost like an entire film is cut into a showreel. This was done for Z and Sony, and whenever we were approaching them, so that time. So he has seen it. and he's loved it.
We know that Salman Khan, I mean, Salman supports you whenever you try to attempt something. Now, let's say, now that we know that your film is about to release and he has his own issues right now with all the death threats coming and all of it. Do you think he would be able to support you as much as he would have if all this weren't there? Or do you think
he
you
would
need
have
it?
supported me much more had this not been there. But then I guess, we will accept the way it is, and Salman sir being there with us is enough. And I think nothing more is more important than his life. I don't even look at it that way. We want him to be safe first. Let him be happy first. And, but he will definitely support us in every way. He's been tweeting. He'll definitely be physically present for us at least one event somewhere. And let us see. Otherwise, he would have been more. I think he would have been traveling more. He himself, it takes a lot for an actor of his caliber and stature to tell me, I'm going to come Bangalore, I'm going to come Bombay, I'll be at Delhi with you people. This is all a discussion that's happened way back till all these protocol issues happen. But then I'm happy at least, and he's somebody, he'll do it if he says it. He won't say it for the namesake. But right now, I think we all should understand it's more important that, he follows what is instructed to him for protocols.
With a little bit of my research, I figured out that the international rights for this film has already been sold, and you're releasing this film in several other languages, several other foreign languages. Yeah. Now, when did you think that the market for Kannada films changed? When did this happen? So
the moment you're dubbing it in a different language, a different country languages, like a Spanish or a French, it is no more any particular regional language, right? It is a cinema of theirs. It is a French film. It's a Spanish film, just dubbed. So they're not looking into exactly where it is coming from. If the film is good, they'll go and watch. And they have some of the people who had approached us have seen the showreel again, and they showed keen interest. That's when this whole idea popped up. And Manju was very keen on dubbing it in every place. Actually, it all boils down to how much a producer is going to support this, or how much of passion he has towards this. He can also end it just for Kannada also. It's not required at all. Because every little penetration into another state or another language is extra money. Lot of money, actually, for promotions and everything. So it takes a lot.
See, I understand that foreign language films, okay, you can't dub. We've seen many Indians make English films, but this kind, this kind of a film going in English is probably for the first time. And you were telling me about how fun or how challenging it was during the dubbing of the film.
Yeah.
could you tell me what it is? What are the challenges that you're facing?
No, because when we talk in our language, there is a certain loudness to the expressions. We are very expressive people in India, and our language supports that a lot. So in English, it's a very subtle way of delivery, and reactions are quite subtle unless and until it's really loud and required. But by nature, they are all very subtle people, and the way they talk is across the table or anything. But in India, I mean, we are accustomed to, there's a lot of drama in our lives, families or friends, and we have a lot of drama. We talk like that. So you can't, what are you doing? You can't do that. So we know, what are you doing? What are you doing? So our expressions will be heavy, and you'll be, what are you doing? So we try to catch up and match up, and we were first few days had good fun. Then we actually we broke the ice, and we just got an in-between line, how to manipulate, how to manage these things, and not exactly lose control on the film. So we managed it, and that process was quite funny. But the end result is damn good.
You promote your films, but then this is probably for the first time that you actually stepping out of your comfort zone and giving out interviews a lot more than you would have earlier done. But tell us about your promotional plan.
I'm the only known face in the film, so they are all relying on me to talk and take this film forward. And I have taken that leadership on this part, and I'm doing it wholeheartedly. As in, yeah, it gets a little strenuous, but then it's my job, and it's also something I love. My film is something I love, and I'm doing it wholeheartedly. And I'd love to represent everybody, because all of them are newcomers. Somebody has to talk about them. Somebody has to push their talent into the society, which I'm doing.
From the 1st of August, I'm sure this should come as good news for you. All the films that are releasing will have an 8-week window to come on OTT. That is from all films releasing from the 1st of August. Yours is releasing on 28th of July. So you think that it could affect a little bit of your theatre collections? Do you have?
No, I think any which ways we are done by 4 weeks. I think collections are done, most of it. So I guess if it is really doing well, I guess they will still have a chat with the OTT platforms and decide what to be done. I guess that much of understanding every OTT platform has with the reputed banners and filmmakers. See, if it's a matter of another 1 week, they'll push it. So they'll probably expect you to promote it also a little bit. See, I think again we should. Correct. So I guess it might be. Otherwise, with what I see in 4 weeks, films collect humongous or films are gone in 4 days. So it doesn't matter.
When do you think you will know what is the, let's say, the response or the fate of Vikrant Rona? It's releasing on the 28th.
I'll know. The 28th it's releasing. I think by 28th I'll have one feeble idea, one vague idea, one bleak idea. I think by 30th I'll have a greater idea. Concrete idea I'll have. Yeah, 100%. Concrete idea I'll have.
You said this is one of your biggest films. What makes it special for you? What is it that
content? The content, and once the content was content is what made it special for me, and then came the scale, which we all decided. I think the scale happened because I insisted. Because Anup is somebody who had done Rangi Taranga, Rajaratha on one particular budget, and he is not somebody who wrote this film to be made on a very huge scale. So when I heard it, I wanted it to go on a bigger scale, and I spoke to Anup again, because since he's the director, he's the man who has to take it forward. And I realized he has got great visions. He has got all the capacities to take it forward even if I gave another bigger scale, another double the scale, he'll take it. So he has got that, the potential. So we were not investing just to make on a bigger scale without the man knowing anything. He understood, he learned, he executed it fantastically well, and Manju supported it to the core without any doubt at all, one iota of doubt.
I have a personal question. I mean, this film has been in the process for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
And the entire team is passionate about it, even today as much as they were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you keep it going for 5 long years on one project, every day in and day out, just talking about it, thinking about it? How does that work?
We are dating the same film for 5 years. We have had no time to date anyone else. So we have been living with this film. So we are all in love with the film. The film is in love with us. That's what is happening right now. So I guess and another thing is probably because we all loved the film and we all loved what we were doing, is why we all stuck to the film with same interest and excitement, and nobody strayed. So there was nobody who are knocking doors to remind you that we had to get excited again, and somebody to pep us up. Yeah, we had our lows and we had stuff, but that nothing worried, nothing that should worry the film or nothing that disturbed the film.
No, but there's a reason I'm asking, because the villain got delayed and you were not doing any other film until the villain got released, and then came Pailwan, and then you're working on this. So how do the finances work? I mean, you're a
For me personally, yeah, I guess God's been kind. I keep getting some endorsements and something like that. So been managing with all that, because actually you're right. The money that's coming in from the films are very slow, because not by the virtue of anything. I take the blame, and I do one film at a time, most of the times at least, and especially if it is only Kannada. If it is a Hindi, Telugu, something, probably I'll do 2 or 3 together, because my language I'll be doing only one. So this time again, I've been here for a very, very long time, and we shall leave it there.
Okay. Now,
my people keep reminding me every day. Including my producer, my manager also, Manju. He keeps calling me every morning. You should start a film, sir. You should move on. You're too much into this film. Like, we have to go. And I keep telling him, I'm not too much into this. It's just that I've not got anything great. There are some few things that I've lined up. I'm discussing and planning. I'll start soon.
I can't end this interview without talking about the recent so-called controversy about Hindi being the national language. You're friends with, I would say, all the stars in South India?
Almost.
Almost everyone. And they're good friends with you.
Yeah.
And then when this whole tweet happened, the controversy of the tweet with Ajay Devgan happened, I did not see you get any sort of support from superstars from other languages, be it in Tamil, Telugu or Malayalam. And we're all South Indian languages. And we all know that Hindi is not the national language. But how does it feel when you don't get support from these stars?
I didn't get support from here also. Why should I blame others?
Correct, exactly. I'm talking about Karnataka.
And I was not even looking for support. It was a discussion between me and Ajay Devgan sir, and I think we should end it. I should not be looking forward to people supporting me on this. And it was not even a fight that I was, some controversy. People were trying to pull me in that I needed support. I could handle it alone.
You've always handled anything.
That's the way it will be, Shreyas. That's the way it will be. I was not looking. So I don't want to blame my friends and hear that nobody supported me. I didn't ask for the support. When I didn't ask for the support, it is not right for me to say nobody supported. See, each one has got something to protect. Everybody are somebody, and they all have a lot of things to protect in their lives. And unnecessarily getting involved into a controversy which doesn't belong to them, a debate which they're not a part of, is not right. I'm okay, and I'm happy that nobody did. But I know a lot of my friends, if I really called for it, I'm sure many of them would have turned up. At least I know a handful of very, very big names who will definitely turn up. And that's enough. And I'm definitely not going to look forward to support for all these things. Yeah, look forward to support when my film is releasing, and I might ask a friend, can you tweet about it, or can you release the trailer for me? Those are the things I look forward to as a support by my friends. Nothing else. That's the respect I have for all of my friends, because I know how much they've struggled to reach everywhere there. It's not right for me to call them and make them a part of something, a story which they're not a part of, a story that they didn't start.
At the same time, do you also think this tweet went out of proportion, or the statement that you made was blown out of proportion?
No. My tweets were well within the limits, and everybody understood and everybody acclaimed. People who started retweeting and using it for their own benefits went very out of proportion, because of which Prime Minister Sir had to intervene and shut everything down and say no more discussions on languages. He was right, because it was going out of proportion, and it is not because of Ajay Devgan sir or me. He asked a question, I answered, and in a way that I had to make my point also clear to him, and it ended there. In fact, I tweeted back saying, thanks you for explaining, I do understand and everything. So that's very sweet of him also. I see the human side of people. I'm not always digging for the other side. And I'm not somebody who's standing here wanting to debate or wanting to get a popularity because of these issues. I think if I make name and if I want to be remembered, I want to be remembered for the right reasons, not for all these things. I don't want my Twitter account to have more following or Insta to have more following because of these kind of controversies. No, it's okay. I'm not for that. See, after that, people took it. They started taking and they started pushing up. See, and me and Ajay Devgan sir both went quiet because he was not a part of it. Neither was his intent that way. Neither was I belonging there. We both kept quiet, and the whole other people started fighting, and war was happening out there.
So you've been in the industry for more than 25 years. You've had your shares of ups and downs. Any lessons?
Lessons plenty. Regrets none. No film I regret, no decisions I regret, because every decision I took, or the cinema I made, has definitely given me something. It has either given me a success, it has either given me a lesson. Both are okay with me, and both are mine. And all the films are my decisions, all the doings are my decisions. So no regrets.
From the time, you've often spoken about it, from the time you were being called an iron leg at one point of time, to today being not just a pan-India star, somebody who's going worldwide. How's been the journey? I mean, what do you look at it? How do you look at it?
I was telling, when people used to call me iron leg in those times, I actually didn't know the meaning. I was thinking, why are they calling me iron leg? As in, like, iron means strong, right? Strong-legged guy. Like, I thought they're calling me because I have a great foundation or something. And I was like, I'm not even given one houseful. Why are they calling me iron leg and all that? And I literally asked my friends, why are they calling me? And then they explained to me the meaning of iron. Iron leg means Dumbo iron leg means, it's a bad thing. It's like you are bad luck. If you're there somewhere, then it struck me. And then, okay, fine, Sparsha was going on, and Sparsha took off very well. It was a huge opening. And just then I thought, okay, chalo, I proved them wrong. 10th day, Rajkumar sir got kidnapped and the film came to halt. Then I started thinking, maybe they are right. I literally looked at my feet. It's like, iron leg. Is it because of me that all this is happening? And just when I thought this was creeping in or whatever. See, there's another film that came. In the process of his kidnap, I got the other film called Hucha. It made me. See, point is not that. Point is, I guess, somewhere a part of my mind, a part of me, I would never believe, or I would never, bow down to these things. I would never become weak. See, if people start going into depressions because of this, then this is wrong. I mean, it can be really heavy. I'm not a guy who would let that happen to me. I was too strong a guy as a mentally to believe. I was a sportsman. See, we have got out. I used to play a lot of cricket. I used to play so many things, and there were so many times I wanted to get selected for the university, for the pentanglers, for this, for the under 19, under 17, and we would on a crucial match get out for a 0 or get out for a very weak score. So every time there used to be that, Hurry, I didn't do it, today was the day, I couldn't deliver. So we were used to it. As a sportsman, I was used to it. So
But
this thing didn't disturb me at all.
But when Sparsha didn't do well, I mean, it did well in terms of the reviews and all of that, but in terms of finance, it didn't do well. And that must have been hard.
Yeah, it didn't do financially it didn't do well because once after 10 days, he was kidnapped, theatres came to a halt. When by the time theatres it opened back, he still hadn't come back, but then they were working on percentages. By the end of the film, when the film got over, when they sat down for the collections and everything, my film had done 100 days. But then they said, we owe them back literally the same budget what we had invested for the film. And that was a surprise to me because one, I didn't know cinema, I didn't know the distribution, I didn't know nothing. So I ended up paying the very huge amount, and which in a way with interest and all these things. And it took the films like Maharaja. I did a film called Maharaja where the producer gave me one shot payment, as a small payment though, 1 shot payment, and that is the day I cleared what was building up because of Sparsha, and Sparsha was 2000. From 2000 to almost Maharaja was around 2007 or 2006 or 5 or something around that time. So many years I've been paying whatever comes I used to send, and that would be fitting in only for the interest. Capital was still there. It was never ending, and I didn't realize why I paid so much. If my 2 crore 32 lakhs or something approximately was the investments on Sparsha, I ended up paying 240, but after 100 days. I didn't understand that math. I just realized that all the math that I learned in school and colleges never taught me this. That you invest this much and after this many days you still owe them back this much.
Does it still hurt you? Do you feel that pain?
No. One thing you remember, Ashresh, I always believe in my life, hard-earned money, when it's honest money, some people loot you out of that, they can never be happy. And I have not seen anybody who's done that with my money, has done that to me, ever being happy at all. And I witnessed it many, and again and again and again and again. I have witnessed it. Every time somebody's done that to me, I've witnessed it. So I'm okay with that. I'm not somebody who's very vindictful. I'll not carry vengeance. I'll leave it up to God. Somebody looted it, just say it went to God. Leave it. It's okay. That doesn't mean I'm an idiot. I'm not stupid. But then people find ways, right? They find ways, right? So you trust them, you bring them into your life and some things happen. But I'm not somebody who'll keep digging, cribbing, take stress. We'll move on, stress. We'll move on to the next. We'll see what happens.
So my last question, Sudeep. What are your expectations from Vikrant Rona?
Nothing.
That's a very politically correct answer.
No,
you must have
I have a
something in
daughter.
mind.
I have a daughter. I love her a lot. I've given her everything. So if you sit and ask me, what do you expect out of your daughter? It's not fair. And how different is Vikrant Rona from my daughter? We have given it everything. She is there. That Vikrant Rona, if I treat it as a daughter, if I treat it as a she is there because of us. So we have delivered everything. We are going to put it into the society tomorrow and let people enjoy the film. And whatever comes, we will accept.
All right, Sudeep. I wish you the very best for Vikrant Rona, and I hope it becomes one of the biggest blockbusters you've ever seen.
That's a heartily wish. Thank you so much, and I shall accept that. Thank you.
Thank you.